Hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking a look here at Bitcoin, of course, helping understand best practice, big picture, and the whole 9 yards. And if you want to become a better trader, just keep in mind, I'm here for you, of course. I've trained a lot of people in the recent past that have attended my trading academy. I have a trading community and signal group as well. It's kind of an added bonus to help you structure your trades effectively. And it's one-click follow through all fully automated. It's a really awesome experience. So be sure to check that out, cryptocash.tech as a website. And last thing to note as well is that I've recently partnered with BitGet because they offer basically you don't need to have a VPN in the United States. You basically can use leverage in the US, which is uncommon in the crypto space, through BitGet. And if you use this link here, of course, link in the description below, you can benefit from the bonus deposit, the bonus USDT, if you're to transfer funds and actually trade volume. Okay, so keep in mind you got to trade in order to get to benefit from that, but it's definitely a sweet little bonus there for transferring funds over. Take a look here at Bitcoin though. Here's where we're at with the daily. Pretty straightforward in the sense that we broke the descending trend line here. So this little descending trend from yesterday, you can probably see it a little easier on the shorter time frames, has essentially been broken tentatively. Now, it's not a guarantee it's broken completely straight through. We still need to get above, we need to close above 20,400 or possibly even just say 20,600 to have any kind of leg to stand on. And keep in mind, this is weekend behavior too. I don't trust weekend behavior too much, so if you're in my community, you'll note that I don't trade on the weekends super frequent, just because of the simple fact that it's more volatile, and obviously, even though volatility is important, it's less anticipatable, if that makes sense, if that's even the right conjugation of the word. So in that sense, we're in this position right now where the last 8 hours have been pretty strong. We've broken this descending trend, and it's looking pretty good. Let's look at some of the big picture stuff here and kind of work our way down. First of all, big picture, just so you know, once again, I covered this in previous videos in case you're new. We have a pretty massive descending trend line that keeps hitting these specific key points ever since November of last year. All right, so 48,000, if you recall that was a doozy. And then of course here recently, right around 22,600, we also had a massive sell-off when CPI data came out here recently. Okay, so the price is trying to break through that descending trend to make an ascending trend, and that didn't happen. All right, so just know, big picture, we're still bearish. All right, that's the thing I want to kind of drive home here. And until we're back up above that level, or just say 50 on the moving average, the 50-day SMA, we're not going to be in a position or a strong leg to stand on. If that makes any sense. Okay, so again, all good stuff here in that regard, but also not fantastic either. We just got to recognize the big picture is still fairly bearish, and that there is potential still for more downside. Please keep that in mind. Furthermore as well, we are coming back up to potentially retest 50 on the RSI. So again, 20,600, 20,400, we close above that, we'll probably be pretty close to breaking 50 on the RSI. Okay, that'd be very important to be able to have that. So definitely something we want to keep our eye on. And then of course we can see a MACD here, essentially a bounce and another potential convergence. So absolutely looking good there as well for Bitcoin. So again, even though the macro is not looking fantastic in the the descending type of trend that we're under, we can see that some of the other moving averages, RSI, etc., are potentially going to work in our favor here soon. And I say potential because again, weekend, I don't trust it tremendously, so just keep that in mind. There could be a massive shift in direction come Monday or tomorrow evening once the Eastern markets open, essentially. Okay, so that's just something to pay attention to. On the 4 hour, we also want to take a look at the moving averages here. We can see that we are below the 50 and the 200, but above the 20. Okay, so I'm not super thrilled about being above the 20, but it does help because that is commonly the first trend setter, you could say, that we want to kind of identify. So that is a positive, but once again, not something you want to bank your decision on, right? Taking a look at the RSI, we can see we're coming up to test 50 on the RSI right now and tentatively getting rejected by that. Again, it's tentative, of course. We have a MACD convergence that's kind of helping us push that momentum through. So in essence, we should experience more upside just based on that sentiment. But once again, we have some resistance at this area right around 20,200 / 20,400. Again, a closure above 20,400 would be fantastic. I still wouldn't trust it though, being a weekend. So if we can get maintain a price point over 20,400 throughout the work days, the typical Monday through Fridays, that would be a different situation altogether. Okay, so for right now, the midterm, the 4 hour looks kind of average. It's not fantastic, but not terrible, right? So some good and bad stuff, so to speak. Taking a look at the 1 hour though, this is something I want to take a peek at. is, of course, TD sequential. We can kind of see previously, as mentioned we had 2 9s on TD sequential, followed by a 7, and then down to another 7. Okay, so we've had a pretty significant downtrend here, so it makes sense that the uptrend is looking decent or promising for the moment. We have higher lows, of course, and tentatively higher highs. All right, so those are very positive things. That's essentially telling us that this descending trend is almost over. In other words, I say almost in the short term because obviously we've broken above that trend line and we've been up there for about 3 or 4 hours. That's a positive sign. So on the short term, we're looking good in the sense of being bullish, whereas on the macro, the larger time frame, we are not. So you just got to keep that in mind. Not fantastic by any stretch, but still tentatively positive, if that's the right way to look at it. Now, as I mentioned yesterday too, we need the price action to be above the cloud for a few hours. And what's cool about this descending trend, again, is working concurrent with the cloud. So now that we've broken through that descending trend, rather, and we have this ascending type of momentum, the likelihood of the price action coming tremendously lower from here is fairly low. We might get a retest of 19.8, but the likelihood of upside seems greater at this point. Okay, keep in mind the lagging span is free and clear of price action. Conversion lines above the baseline, so hypothetically a long position would be viable at this point based on the Ichimoku cloud. So again, mostly good stuff there in that regard. I like what I see. So I would say, to summarize, that Bitcoin is looking bullish on the short term, but bearish on the long term, basically the macro. So macro bearish, micro bullish. We have some key level resistances we need to be able to break through first, though. The thing that I want to look for that would give us confirmation that we're on the right side of tracks, not just a 1 hour confirmation, because that's not exactly what you want to base your entry on, is to get a closure above 50 on the RSI. Like a solid closure would be nice, right? Furthermore, I would like to see the price action, and again, this is a ways away, but in the big picture, being up at the 21,600 range would be fantastic. I know that's a lot to ask for right now because, again, we shouldn't likely see something like this again. But what I'm getting at is once we get up over the 50-day set moving average, which runs concurrent with trend lines in most cases, you can see that the price action would be in pretty good shape at that point. That would be a good area to start considering some nice, healthy long positions. Between now and then, we gotta respect the fact that the price action could very well just bounce around in this range, or possibly even just stay in the range of 19.5 upwards of 22,000 or 21,000 rather. So 19.5 to 20,600, 21,000, right in that range, we'll probably see the price action kind of maintain itself. So we're probably going to be range bound for a short while, but again, this weekend is it's an interesting one. So I don't know if this helped clarify anything at all, but it is what it is, and that's just kind of where Bitcoin's at. It's not fantastic, and it's not terrible, right? Kind of just, it is what it is. You accept the fate of the market, and just be cautious and careful trading altcoins right now, because as Bitcoin dominance increases, altcoins are getting kind of hit. I covered Terra Classic earlier, and that was on the downtrend. I think it's recovered since, but generally speaking, you're going to see corrective behavior when Bitcoin takes off like this. Okay, so if Bitcoin does another one of these, where the price action shoots up like this, you can expect some altcoins to actually go down. It's kind of a strange, interesting thing and how it works. But Bitcoin dominance, I recommend you pay attention to that. It's absolutely a good indicator. All right, so thanks so much for joining me here. If you want to become a better trader, again, cryptocash.tech is a site. Link in the description below. Highly recommend using BitGet. Link in the description as well. I also put this in the comments so you can kind of quickly find it. But I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.